Okay, in this video we're going to go over removing a film cassette that's gotten stuck in the printer on a Fargo 5000. Sometimes if you're using, and I'll go over the difference here, sometimes I've worked on a lot of these printers and it only happens occasionally, but sometimes you'll pull on this and it doesn't come out and it's stuck. You can wiggle it and whatever. I've had customers that pulled this plate off and things like that. So if it's stuck in there, you're going to need to do what we're talking about here. But the reason being is that this is an old cassette right here. You can see it's flat here on the bottom of this line. On the new one, it's got this cutout. So this is the one that should be used on any of the newer 5000s, the 5600. The older ones don't seem to ever do that, but on the newer printers, the 5600 and the newer 5000s, and even the HDP2 pluses and things like that, they've gone to this because they evidently were having that issue. But theory of operation: this is the heated roller, and it raises and lowers. What happens is here's your film cassette, and it goes in this way. So here's the part with the cutout. Well, you can see it extends past this heated roller on the end, and if this is too high, when you attempt to pull that out, it catches right there. So what you have to do is you have to lower this roller down. This is that heated roller module, the whole piece. You can see there's leaf springs on the bottom, so that helps push it up when the cam down here moves, and it moves this up. Those springs help push the roller up. The card comes to the film's here, your ribbon's over here. Your ribbon is transferred to your film, and then the card passes through here. This is heated, it raises and transfers to the card. So that's the theory of operation. That's how this works. So what we've got to do is get that down. So we've simulated here. You put in a cassette and it's stuck. It won't come out. So you don't want to pull hard on it. It doesn't take much force to pull this faceplate off. So what we're going to need to do is you're going to need a Torx T10 bit. They come in a variety of things. I use this 6-inch thing. You've got these security hollow tip wrench type. You've got little short bits that fit in the magnetic tools like this. Doesn't matter which one you use, you just need a Torx T10. And down, if you're looking at the back of the printer, there's a screw in there. So you're just going to take that Torx T10 and counterclockwise remove that screw. It may or may not come all the way out, but once you fully loosened it, there's this little hole right here on the back of the printer at the top of this cover. So you're going to insert something that's small enough to fit in there. Just barely need to insert it, and then raise it. It acts like a lever, and it'll pop that panel down. Be careful not to lose your screw. Sometimes that will come out. Some panels hold it, some don't. So set that aside, and then this is the back with the covers and everything on. This has the upper assembly removed, as well as the panels in the main board. So what we need to do right here behind this piece of metal right here on the right side, you've got this gear, you've got this motor, this metal piece right here, that's right here. So what we need to do is we need to get to this roller right here, and we need to lower it down. You can see how it flexes. So we need to flex that down while at the same time reaching around with the other hand and pulling the cassette out. Now there's two ways to do this. You need to be very careful. If you nick this roller, you basically ruined your printer. You're going to have print issues. It'll leave a mark in your prints. So I used to exclusively tell people to, on this metal plate, to reach up underneath. Just have to weed it up through there. There's a little, let me get my camera here, there's a little bar there. You can get it up in there and then get it in there and flex it down. The reason that I told people to do it this way is because it's impossible, pretty much, to nick that that roller this way. But as you can see in here, you can't see that well. If we, let's see, get an angle right here. This is the, there's the piece. And if you look inside this gap right there, yeah, right there, you can see the orange there. That's the roller. So trying to get with this panel, trying to get up under here and get to that roller can be difficult. But you can, as you can see here, you can see it there. So what you can do is you can reach between this gear and this top of this metal plate, and you can go in right there, which is the equivalent of this. But the reason that you need to be very careful here is you can get through, past that metal part, and you can touch the roller and nick it. So on the end of the roller here, you got this round piece. That's what you need to try to catch right there. Reaching through and then pulling it down. And at the same time, while that's pulled down, you go across with the other hand, reach down and grab the foil cassette. So in this case, we're not going to be able to see, totally clear in here, but we're going to reach in here like that. We're going to flex that down, and then I'm going to go ahead and let go of that, but you would continue to hold that down, reach around with your other hand, and pull this out. If it doesn't come out, you need to flex it a little bit more until this comes out. Just be careful going in this way up here that you don't go past that. See, it's harder to see in the video, but from here you can see the round part there and everything. So you can also use like a small screwdriver or something like that. You can reach in and pull it down like that, and at the same time reach around. So that's and then of course it's going to be the opposite, putting it back. If your screw came out, just have it handy, or if it's still there. When you're shutting, there's slots on both sides that fits in. When you're raising this up, be careful not to damage your USB card with this cross. Remember, make sure it fits through the two holes there, and then snaps in the center and on the left and the right. And then the screw stayed in on this one, but you just take a screw, and you don't need to over torque this, just enough to take the slack out, and then you're ready to go. But just make sure that if you're having that problem, what you need to do is not use the flat one. You need to get a newer cassette that has this cutout on the bottom, because we've had customers that have both an older 5000 and a newer 5000 or a 5600, and they'll swap them out and they'll get it stuck in there with this one. So make sure you're only using this one on the newer printers. And if you have a printer where it gets stuck with one of these, then don't use that cassette on that. Only use the cutout ones.